Take two for trying to make this video happen. This is the Sutefoto TP25-RGB tube light. It's a pretty fancy tube light that I found for about $120 on Amazon, and I have been really anxious to finally get to try one of these, even though I absolutely love my Aputure MC4 light travel kit. If you saw a few of my videos from a while back, you know that I am very high on the Aputure MC4 Light Travel Kit +1, and I love that they can be used as a bit of a mini portable studio. In fact, I mean, they're lighting this setup right now just fine. But the more I watch other YouTubers and other people do videos, I realize that I'm going to need to keep up with certain pieces of technology. I know that they say the technology doesn't matter, it's all on how you use the equipment, and that is true to an extent. But if you want to make absolutely beautiful videos, especially if I'm able to start doing some of the projects I want where I'm going to be doing interviews, I need to start investing in more and more equipment. Some of those will be actual real studio lights, but something that I could afford right now was a tube light. Now, just a little disclaimer, I bought this the week before Aputure decided to announce their tube lights. They have a 2-foot and then a 4-foot. I don't think I would have still gone with them just because of the price point. This was $120, and other single 2-foot lights out there are in the even maybe a little bit down to 200, but about 200 to 300 price range. But then you've got some of the 1-foot and 14-inch wands that are almost the same price as this. So why not go for 2-foot for $120 off of Amazon? And oh yeah, out of almost 55 reviews, 4.5 stars, everybody absolutely loves it. Like I said, I've been very interested in tube lights for a while. I had a coworker at my last job that got a bunch, and he used them for stage props, as well as we started using them to light and do shoulder and head lighting a little bit, just to give you this really cool glow on the shoulders and the top of the head, for really giving that depth that you're looking for in some of these videos. So realistically, there are 2 reasons why I bought this tube light. And number one, it's really silly, but you can't tell me as a Star Wars nut that it is not really cool to turn this thing on and just think that it looks like an absolute lightsaber. Like I said, really silly, really childish. But in all seriousness though, the main reason why I wanted to go ahead and get at least one tube light, and I'm actually already hooked to where I may go ahead and get a second, is it's just so darn easy and good to use. But I've been getting the chance to do some social media commercials for some products, and I've been really excited about it. But as I was doing the first one, I noticed something, and I can actually see it back in my painting with light video that I did with John Engel, and I'm gonna link that here or here, wherever it ends up. If you go back and watch that painting with light video really closely, you will notice in a couple of the photographs and a couple of the sequences where you can start to see streaks. You see the columns and the rows of the little light pixels that are found in these lights. You start to see them moving through the shot. And you just don't want that with some of that. When you're doing painting with light, most of the time you want it to be a nice, even streak if you can. You don't want to see it at all at other times. But I saw it in the body of the car in some of the shots, and I saw it in the reflections on the watch that I first started with. And part of the reason why I was able to start seeing those streaks is this light has 4 columns of 6 rows, so about 24, I think it's 24, it might be 48 light pixels, and you're able to see them very easily when you're not using the diffuser. And even when you're using the diffuser, you can still see them. On the other side, this has 246 enhanced light beads in it. And look at how well frosted this is. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back on, go back to CCT. So this is at 1% intensity, but look at that. You can't see any of the beads. It is just so well frosted. And that, I think, will make a massive difference moving forward with some of my product photography and product videography. So before I get too much further into the features of this exact light, let's go ahead and see what you get for $120 from Amazon. Obviously, you get the light. You also get this awesome little tripod that doubles as a handle with a 1/4-20 insert. Obviously, to power anything these days, you need a power cord, handy dandy manual, and a very nice carrying case with strap. If you were one of the 12 people who watched the video that I did on these cheap Emmert light stands that I've been using, they've actually been really good. I liked the drawstring action of those bags, but as I've used them more and more and more, they've actually just become such a hassle and they feel cheap. That's the bags. The stands have been doing great. The bags themselves are just, they're not good. They're cheap. They catch on everything. They don't feel high quality. This feels high quality. But this is where my one gripe with this setup comes in, and it is actually with this bag. The light fits perfectly in. You can zip it up, but it doesn't leave any more room for anything else. That is my one gripe. You can only take the light and the bag, maybe the handle if you really try, but you can't take anything else. So you will need to carry this mess of cords with you separately, and that's just kind of a pain. So I wish that they had maybe gone just, I don't know, 4 to 6 inches longer and given us a spot to maybe put the handle in and then wrap the power cords around. That way, if you're doing some kind of big shoot with this light, you have your power, whether you run it off a battery or not. It's a minor inconvenience, and I don't like that. So now that we got that one negative out of the way, what are some of the positives? Well, for starters, you have not just one, but you have 2 1/4-inch thread receivers. One female end on this end and one on this end. You have everything right here on the back. You've got all the directions for kind of how to do things, as well as all the different settings. And just like Aperture, and I'm sure Nanlite and some of those others, they're all the exact same. You've got your CCT, your HSI, your RGB-CW, your special effects. Then you've got here your channels and your groupings, because this, just like Aperture, you can use an app to control different channels, and you can control each light individually, or you can group them A to F. That's right, you can have 6 different groupings of these lights and have group A doing one thing, group B doing something else, C, D, E, and F all doing different things, and you can control them from the app. And I am really excited to try that out once I get a couple more of these lights. Now, one of the other things that I like about this, and I don't know how much I'll use it, but it's cool to have, is the range on this. Under CCT, you can see right there, you go from 2800 Kelvin all the way up to 10,000 Kelvin. And I love that. You can kind of, oh, hang on, let me get back through this. You got to be really careful, because if you press the dim light, you will actually go through all the different effects that you can do. So let's get back to CCT. There we go. I love how you can see that 10,000 Kelvin has a nice cool blue, whereas 2800 Kelvin is actually, if you can kind of see it, it's a little more orange, a little more yellow. And it's just really cool to be able to see that. We'll pump that up. There we go, 15. Now you can really see. Ooh, there we go. And like I said, you can go through the different ones. This is an HSI, where you can control the hue, the saturation, and the intensity. This is 243 at 100% saturation, only 20% intensity. And then you can go over here and we can go, let's see, let's get the, there we go. So all the different colors. I forget how many colors it actually claims it has, but you go 0 to 360 in here and you've got everything you could want. So this grouping actually right here is one of those interesting ones that I don't feel like a whole lot of people use, but there's one setting in here that I'm not as infatuated with as I am with the Aperture lights. And what we will do is we will rotate through. There's all kinds of different emergency vehicles. This is the one that I'm not as crazy about. This on FX5 is their fire setting, and getting it up to frequency 10, it just, I don't know. it doesn't do it for me quite as well as these MC aperture lights do. That is the Sutefoto TP25-RGB tube light. Again, it's $120 on Amazon. I don't get any commission for telling you that. I'm just telling you that because it's a really great price, and I have been using it for about a month and a half. If you've watched a couple of recent videos, you may actually see the tube light in my glasses, but I have really enjoyed getting to use this. I'm looking forward to trying it, doing more things, and I just really enjoyed it, and I wanted to share that with you. If you're looking for a tube light, maybe you consider this Sutefoto TP25-RGB rather than spending another $80 or $180 or something like that on a very comparable light. I love the frosted where you can't see the beads as easy. I love the range that I've been able to get out of this. So there you have it. That is the newest toy, the newest tool in my arsenal that I have been getting to use here lately, and I'm really excited about it. But I want to hear from you. Drop down in the comments below what your go-to tube light is, whether it's a certain size of 2 feet, 14 inches, the 4-footers, whether it's a certain brand, aperture, nan light, anything like that, and tell me why. I want to know why maybe I didn't think about this correctly. What have you seen about the Sutefoto that you don't like? What are some of the things that you saw about the new aperture tube lights, the 2-foot and the 4-foot that you really like? If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. I really do appreciate it. If you don't already, hit subscribe, maybe ring that little bell so you can hear when I drop another video, whether it be a short or one of these longer videos, and I'll catch you in another video down the road.